The ceiling above you is too high. The room is too quiet. The air smells expensive. Your phone is vibrating. Not one notification, hundreds. Bank alerts, investment confirmations, news articles with your name in the headline. Your net worth is displayed on the screen like a verdict. 8 figures. You sit up slowly. Your heart isn't racing with joy. It's racing like you've been caught. Then your phone lights up again. Group chat. Unbelievable. Another message. So this is who you really are. A missed call from your mother. A text from your best friend. Don't ever talk to me again. You're rich, so why does it feel like you just lost everything? And more importantly, what did it cost you? You used to wake up in a room half this size, paint peeling, fan rattling, checking your account before brushing your teeth because overdraft fees hit harder than cold water. You remember calculating gas money like it was chess. You remember saying, "I'm good," when your card declined. You remember smiling through the quiet humiliation of being the ambitious one with nothing to show for it. You weren't lazy, you weren't stupid, you were just stuck, scrolling through success stories at 2 a.m., watching people your age make it, listening to podcasts that promised freedom if you just worked harder. You believed in the formula: work hard, stay humble, be patient. But patience doesn't pay rent, and humility doesn't build empires. You felt invisible. At family dinners, they asked your cousin about his stable job. They asked you, "So what are you doing now?" That tone, that slight smirk, you laughed it off, but inside, something hardened. Every rejection email, every maybe next year, every time someone told you to be realistic, you started waking up earlier, sleeping later, cutting friends off, studying markets instead of watching movies. You weren't chasing money, you were chasing proof. Proof that you weren't crazy, proof that you weren't average, proof that you could bend reality if you pushed hard enough. And then you did. Back to the silk sheets, back to the number on your screen. It didn't happen slowly, it exploded. One deal, one risk, one decision everyone told you not to make. It worked. The kind of win that rewrites your identity overnight. Investments multiplied, your company valuations soared, your name started trending in circles that once ignored you. Suddenly, you weren't trying, you were a threat. And here's the part no one tells you, ambitious people. The moment you rise fast, people don't see your grind, they see your jump. They don't see the nights you questioned your sanity, they see the headline, and headlines are easy to hate. Your friends say you've changed, but you didn't change, you just stopped shrinking, and that makes people uncomfortable because your success forces them to confront their stagnation. Your wealth becomes a mirror, and most people hate mirrors. They say you got lucky, they say you must have cut corners, they say nobody makes that kind of money clean. It's easier to question your character than their own ambition. And the more money you have, the less human you become to them. You're not you anymore. You're a symbol, a reminder, a walking insecurity. Here's the psychological twist. You thought money would buy respect, but money amplifies perception. If they secretly envied you before, now they resent you. If they doubted you before, now they wait for you to fail. You didn't just upgrade your lifestyle, you upgraded the level of hostility around you, and no one prepared you for that. Your mother finally calls back. Her voice is proud, but distant. She says, "Just don't forget where you came from." It sounds supportive, but it feels like a warning. Your old friends stop inviting you out. They assume you're too big now. Or maybe they don't want to split the bill evenly with someone who could buy the restaurant. You offer to help one of them with a business idea. He says, "I don't want your charity." Charity? You thought it was collaboration. This is the part that messes with your head. You spent years feeling powerless. Now you have power, and somehow you feel more isolated. Because money doesn't just change your bank account, it changes the power dynamics in every relationship. When you were broke, you were relatable. Now you're intimidating. When you struggled, you were safe. Now you're unpredictable. You thought they wanted you to win, but only to a point, not past them, never past them. That's the unspoken rule. Succeed, but not too much. Shine, but don't blind. Win, but let others feel taller. You broke the rule, and now you're paying a different price. Here's the truth nobody tells ambitious people. Society loves the dreamer. It loves the underdog. It loves the on-the-way-up story. But once you arrive, the applause fades, because your existence disrupts comfort. If you can do it, what's their excuse? If you escaped, why didn't they? Your success becomes evidence that the system isn't unbeatable, and that's terrifying. It's easier to believe the world is rigged, harder to accept that risk and obsession might actually pay off. You didn't just make money, you exposed possibility, and possibility threatens complacency. This is where it gets darker. You start questioning yourself. Did you become cold? Did you prioritize money over people? You replay conversations in your head, the birthdays you missed, the texts you ignored, the nights you chose strategy over socializing. You tell yourself it was necessary, but was it? Or did you slowly detach before they ever did? You wanted freedom, but freedom requires separation, and separation feels like abandonment from the outside. You begin to notice something unsettling. The richer you get, the less you can talk honestly. You can't complain about stress because at least you're rich. You can't admit fear because you've already won. You can't share new goals because it sounds like bragging. So you stay quiet, and silence builds walls faster than money builds houses. You walk through your new house. Every object is proof of discipline. Marble counters, floor-to-ceiling windows, a view you once screenshotted as motivation. You should feel victorious. Instead, you feel observed, like the world is waiting for you to slip. You check social media, half congratulations, half subtle shade. Must be nice. Wish I had connections. Some people just get lucky. They don't see the version of you who risked everything. They see the result, and results without context look suspicious. You realize something brutal. Money didn't change who you are. It revealed who everyone else is. Some people are genuinely happy. A few, quietly supportive. But most, they're negotiating their self-worth in comparison to you. And comparison is a dangerous emotion. It can turn admiration into resentment overnight. Now the real conflict begins, inside you. Because a part of you enjoys it. The power, the validation, the shift in how rooms respond when you walk in. You used to feel invisible. Now you feel significant. Is that wrong, or is that human? Your ego whispers, they doubted you. Let them hate. Your fear whispers, you're alone now. Your old self whispers, was this worth it? You stand between two identities. The broke dreamer who was loved, and the wealthy disruptor who was questioned. Which one felt safer? Which one felt more alive? You remember something. Back when you had nothing, you said you'd trade comfort for impact. You said you'd accept being misunderstood if it meant freedom. Now that it's real, it feels heavier than you imagined. Because being rich isn't just about money, it's about visibility. And visibility invites judgment. You can't hide behind potential anymore. You are the outcome. And outcomes attract opinions. Then, one night, sitting alone in a house too quiet for its size, you realize something that changes everything. They don't hate you. They hate what you represent. You are proof that the ceiling wasn't real. You are proof that excuses have expiration dates. You are proof that obsession beats moderation. And that's uncomfortable. Because if your story is possible, then stagnation is a choice. You didn't betray them. You outgrew the agreement, the silent agreement to stay small together, to complain together, to dream together but never execute too aggressively. You broke that pact, not maliciously but unapologetically, and growth always looks like betrayal to those who stay the same. That's the awakening. Not that money costs relationships, but that evolution filters them. You don't lose people because you win. You lose people because your win forces them to confront themselves. Some rise with you, most don't. And that's not cruelty, that's gravity. You look at your reflection in the dark window. For the first time today, you feel calm. Not because everyone approves, not because the hate stopped, but because you understand it. You didn't wake up rich and hated. You woke up powerful and exposed. And exposure is the price of ambition. You can shrink again, downplay your success, apologize for your growth, make yourself digestible. You'd regain comfort, but you'd lose yourself. Or you can accept that being extraordinary comes with isolation, that elevation changes air pressure, that not everyone is meant to breathe at your altitude. You finally see it clearly. Money didn't ruin your life. It removed the illusion of universal support. It showed you who clapped for the dream and who only loved you when you were harmless. You lie back down in the silk sheets. The room still feels big. The silence still echoes. But now it doesn't feel like loss. It feels like space. Space to build differently. Space to choose relationships intentionally. Space to become someone who doesn't need universal approval. Because the real wealth isn't the number on your screen. It's the ability to withstand being misunderstood without shrinking. You close your eyes, not as the broke version desperate for validation, not as the rich version seeking dominance, but as someone who finally understands. If everyone loves you, you're probably not disrupting anything. And if everyone hates you, you might be exactly where growth begins.